The views and opinions of this podcast are solely our own, with no direct intention to offend or upset.
Brilliant. Fucking brilliant.
Of the Rebel Alliance. All squadron leaders report in.
Admiral, this is Blue Leader standing by.
This is Gold Leader standing by.
This is Red Leader standing by.
Sir, those are rebel ships. Get Admiral Gold immediately.
Hello everybody, welcome to episode 10, series 4 of What's the Script, the quintessentially Scottish movie review / comedy podcast, starring myself, Big Craig, and my good pal there, Chris. How are we this week, sir?
Yes, I'm lobing. Lobing. Aye, hunky-dory, tickety-boo. We need to get new sayings.
You need to get new sayings, but no, listen, you are who you are. Yeah, so if that's your saying, that's your saying there, mate. I think I always say I'm smashing. I'm no bad. The Glaswegian outlook is off it at a minute. See if somebody won £1 million in the lottery. Davey, you won £1 million, man. How do you feel? Do you know what? No bad. No bad. Oh, really? No bad. I don't like you anymore. He's a tap and then call it quits.
This is why this is so hard today. See if you're Glaswegian. Like, how was that film? It was no bad. It was all right. You know what I mean? Because people just don't want to put themselves out there. You know what I mean? Like, it was fucking amazing. Like, nah. It's all right, mate. Sound. It was sound. There's the other one. Sound. Like, you watched it with your ears?
Aye. This new generation, some of the lingo. Like, for people that don't speak Glaswegian, it sounds as raw as it is. Do you want to go for a scran? What? Would you like to go for something to eat? It means, right? Do you want to go for a scran? Who's gone in scranning things? You know what I mean?
I'm in a chat with English guys, right? And they send me videos of Scottish people and ask me to translate. And I think this mad bastard was in Prague or Berlin or something. And the guy goes, "You know what, make this tune a wee bit better? I cone on that cunt seed." They just sent me the video like that. Please.
Oh, cool. That's not so bad, actually. That's very good. Oi, Chris, you translate that for me, please, mate. I don't speak Ouija.
They call us the wild ones, so kind of fits.
Well, we are the only nation on God's green earth that the Romans built a wall to keep us in. So there you go. And that's the truth. You can look that up on anything bar Wikipedia. Because I like to go into Wikipedia and just change facts, man. On random things. Aye, the Great Wall of China was built in 1942 by Bruce Lee's dad. Started off as a sandcastle at the beach and just take it for there, you know.
Once you get going.
Well, guys, listen, thanks again. A warm welcome to everyone who's tuned in this week via any platform, whether it be audible or visual. Visual, of course, being the YouTube, who my wife has told me to stop saying that, the YouTube. I says, look, Ken, no, I'm 46 this month. Everything's the. It's the YouTube and the Facebook and the Twitter and that, you know. But where else can you find us, Chris?
Oh, they can find us in the wriggle of little tadpoles' tails. They can find us in the unchanged oil of a chippy. They can find us anywhere, mate.
Oh, that's rather pungent, but I like it. Funnily enough, I was went to the car boot sale on Sunday, just a quick wee story there. Me and my brother, dead early in the morning, went to Block Earn, garbage, went to Paul McGee, that's where you get the right gadget stuff, the right bin rate and stuff and all that. But I watch a lot of antiques programmes and I've got a wee eye for some things. And I seen this wee mini chest of drawers. It had 6 drawers in it. Something that a woman would put on top of her, like her dresser and have her trinkets in and jewellery and stuff like that. So I thought, I'm taking that. Guy only took a fiver off it for me, right? Only took £5. Gets it up the road. And I'm quite adept to touching things up. I says, I can do something with that, sell it on. So I was cleaning it. Couldn't take all the wee drawers out, being dead careful and getting the solutions and all the cleaning agents and the lemon juice and that. And it got to the very last drawer. Guess what I found in it? What's the Script podcast? Because you can find us anywhere. Anywhere you can find us. And I was taken aback. Worth every penny.
You're a treat there. I would feel like a wee boy around a campfire. Tell us more.
I seen you hanging there. Really? Really? No fooling, mister? Wait to see how much I was getting for this, Chester. What did you find? Your father's lightsaber. So there you go, folks. Man. You can find us absolutely anywhere, on any given day, any moment in time. I mean, you can drive your car into the Clyde, a tyre could blow, you could be sinking to the bottom of the water, taking your last breath. What's the Script podcast, just doing there, attached to a shopping trolley. Thanks again.
You came closer to the screen and everything.
Oh, you need to a pedal, or you'll not get the full value of this unless you watch it on YouTube, guys. A big thank you and shout out to Quaint, providing us again with the title track for this series. Much appreciated, boys. Please check them out on Spotify. Again, they're going great guns. They've got another single coming out. They've got some tour dates coming up. Get your tickets on Instagram and speak to one of the boys. But leading up to this podcast, which we will get to under our new format, we like to just do a bit of housekeeping and say hello and all that first of all. Chris, what have you been up to? You went to pictures, didn't you?
Yes, sir. I went to see the highly anticipated Dune 2. And if you reside in Scotland, you pronounce it June 2. But it's only March.
Go and see that June the 2nd today. What? You talk about it? June the 2nd today? It's March, Davey. I'm telling you. How was it?
Yeah. Well, I liked it. I actually found it a bit more interesting than the first one. Okay. So it's paced the same, and obviously it's just shy of 3 hours. But it was sci-fi, and like we said a while back, films these days you don't kind of get the feeling of like grand scale of things. See this? Obviously it's epic. Some of the shots, it's definitely well done. And like I said to you the other day there, obviously the success of the first one, the director's been allowed to get whatever he wanted this time. So that was plus Austin Butler was a good wee villain as well, mate. Just would have been interesting to see maybe a more, what is it, R-rated kind of version, because that boy, there's something wrong with that boy. That boy's no happy.
You know, Austin Butler, when I seen the trailers for him playing this role, wee bit of gore, the God Butcher about him, you know what I mean? But see, Austin Butler, I think maybe he's born out of time. See, if he was born in the same era as a Daniel Day-Lewis or something like that, I think that guy could be one of the best, considered one of the best actors in the world, because he just seems to be adept taking on a role and living it. He's just a great actor.
He's a good man. And what I say is, the character in that film, he's very devious. You know what I mean? Just a proper bad guy. No reason for the way he is. Just a bad seed.
Sometimes, Master Bruce, people just like to watch the world burn. Really, Alfred? Swallow me. Don't know where I'm going with that. But the Jyn thing, the original was a kind of trilogy as well, meant to be. I've read up on what the third part is maybe, and there's a book, and I can't remember what it's called. And the critics are saying, please don't go down that road of that book because it's considered one of the worst books ever, or whatever it is. And I can't remember. I should have done my homework before I come on. It was John Campier's read it, and he's right into Jyn, and he says, I hope they just don't go down this route. But we'll see. We'll see. It's a visual spectacle anyway, wasn't it, mate? You said.
Aye, superb, mate. But going to it, I thought I was going to feel the runtime yet, and I didn't. So read into that what you want, know what I mean?
Well, I acknowledge that. You couldn't think about the time you were going to spend in it because you were too busy thinking about the water trickling down you because you were soaking wet right out of the shower, right down the Galactic and the fucking in your towel.
That was it. Still felt the heat of the shower on my skin.
You must have a roasting shower, man. Mine's just tepid at best. No, I run cold, you see. I really do. So, shout outs to all our homeboys at Seismic. Listened to the Titanic the other day. They managed to cram it into just over an hour. And it was great listens. Listened to it Saturday at my work and stuff. It's kind of one of the ones I would love to do, and I've been dancing around since we started this, really. However, it's a danger of being a two-parter because I've got a morbid fascination with Titanic. I'm a bit of an enthusiast. Look with that, and I think I just go off in tangents about facts and measurements. And do you know this Chesterfield was actually designed and produced by Charles Rennie Mackintosh as a gift to the White Star Company? Is that right? Moving on, Craig, it's a film we're reviewing here. So well done, guys. And I was lucky enough to be asked on to the Seismic Soccer, which should be coming out soon, mate. I hope it is anyway, because I'm dying to hear it back, because I don't remember much about it. I had a funeral that day, and although the boys said I carried myself well and I wasn't a pest, I kind of remember kind of butting in a couple of times, but we'll see how it went. A lot of Brendan Rodgers talk and three-corner rule and whole host of other things, so we'll look out for it. And the Diabolical boys hit me back yesterday on the platform of X. They're just going great guns. And the Wreckfest boys, they've not done anything for the Fifth Element.
Well, see, this again. See, I don't know what the fuck is up with Twitter, but I don't see anybody. I actually need to go looking for stuff now. It's mental.
Aye. I'm only keeping up with them via Instagram, mate.
Aye.
Well, I know nothing news came out.
I mean, see when I go into Twitter, mate, it's fucking some bullshit. Know what I mean? Somebody's took a screenshot of comments, and that's the picture. Know what I mean? And I'm like, what the fuck is everything? And then there's an advert for something, an advert for this, and I'm going, you're following like nearly over fucking what? You're nearly 2,000 people I'm following on that, and I'm not seeing anybody. So I'm going, what the fuck's going on?
The yellow ticks are outrageous, man. The yellow tick brigade. I just think if I'm on X for half an hour, 15 minutes is spent hitting don't like this ad. But they come back, so it's a waste of time. Sennheiser. I get Sennheiser every time I log in. Go away.
Aye. Plus, the bots, it's just out of control now, man. They're just everywhere.
Oh, aye. You actually see the fancy women that are liking my posts, man.
Aye. And then see the other day, know how I put out that post? Do you like the YouTube? I like the YouTube. There was 2 random people just commented, yes, I do. I like YouTube. It's got informative videos. And I'm like,
Used to just cut them back with the gif for Step Brothers. We just become best friends. See what that takes you.
Oh, mate, it's just mental, man. It's mental. But I try and see people's stuff and try and repost it as much as I can, but it just, like it says, it doesn't pop up in the feed at all.
Aye, that's it. Keep the indie podcast dream alive, people. Give a like and a share and a follow, and obviously we always try and do the same with you on many platforms. Usually we don't look for anything back, but a wee share now and again would be no bad. So thanks very much for all your help.
Well, we don't look for it back, just your firstborn child.
Just a percentage of your wage. Just call us the Scientology podcast. Anyway, let's move on. 16 minutes in. Episode 10, as we have advertised for the last probably 5 days or so, it was my pick, and I decided to go down the route of Rogue One, a Star Wars story. And I've picked that on the basis of I think it's up there with the originals. I think the big thing was for me, I never expected it to be. I went to watch this in the pictures, and I was blown away, man. And for something that was coming out that we all agreed probably we didn't need because we know where it was going to end, even it still felt like danger. Still had me on the edge of my seat. Didn't know where it was going, who was doing what. Oh, it's brilliant, man. What do you think, Chris?
Aye. Unfortunately, I did not go see this in the cinema because the damage had been done with other Star Wars stuff. So I just went.
I totally get that.
I am no paying money to go see shite. It's the same. I didn't go see Solo in the pictures either. It's just but it's one of the things I regret because this would have been absolutely amazing in IMAX, especially obviously the end. But definitely, mate, it answered a lot of questions that you could I remember see the first films, like the first trilogy. Although I thought brilliant and all that, there was things that you could just rip into about it. Like, why is this? Why is this so?
Is this what?
Why is this so? But it's just it was good, man. It plugged a lot of holes. Plus, see for me as well, it was like this was like a kind of like the first adult version of Star Wars for me as well. Because I know a lot of it's like aimed at kids and families and all that stuff, but see this is the first time you kind of see like the proper oppression of the Empire and all that. You know what I mean? And it's just good, man. Good stuff.
It made me feel a bit like when Andor came on the scene eventually. It felt very much like espionage, like a proper spy film with war in the background and proper consequences, deaths, evil, good trying to triumph. Do you know what I mean? It had everything, absolutely everything. And for people who haven't seen it, or maybe aren't into Star Wars as a whole, as a standalone, I would suggest you maybe give it a try because it's absolutely brilliant. If you get into it with an open mind, it was anyway. The synopsis is, excuse me, Jyn's father Galen is forcibly taken and her mother murdered by the Galactic Empire's General Director Krennic to help them complete under construction Death Star. When Jyn gets older, she joins a group of resistance fighters who aim to steal the Empire's blueprints in a bid to destroy the Emperor's monstrous new planet killer. And eventually takes us right into episode 4, A New Hope. It was released the 13th of December 2016 and directed by Gareth Edwards, who I can't say anything highly enough about what he's done with this movie, mate.
Aye, definitely. This is why he was allowed to make his recent film, The Creator. No, I mean this was his because before this it was the Godzilla one. So I can never remember that boy's name. Is it Aaron Taylor or something?
Something Aaron Taylor.
Aye. So he knows how to make a film, the boy. You know what I mean? And in fact, see what you say, for people that aren't into Star Wars, this is like a war movie, and it just has the element of Star Wars behind it. It's brilliant, man. It's like I say, it's a pure step away from the norm, like the whole Jedi stuff and all that. It's more of the
Exactly. The only, obviously, Chirrut is the only one that kind of mentions being partially linked to the Force, but we'll get to that. It's the first film that was made in the whole franchise that doesn't mention the name Skywalker.
Aye.
So that's got to be a winner.
Aye, and so I think it was also the first that didn't have the beginning crawl scene. You know what I mean? So
And the first that didn't have the side swipes between scenes.
it's done a lot of firsts. Plus, what I think is brilliant about it as well is the different characters. Know what I mean? They were all interesting enough and different enough, and nobody was like super duper. Know what I mean? They were all like, believable characters. No, I mean, nobody you get now with some people are just brilliant at everything. It's just nah, mate. You're down in your luck.
Well, usually we do pick our favourite character later in the pod, and we will do that. But you're right, mate. That's a really good point, actually, how they're all get super likability about them. And they've all got great traits, and they've all got their own flaws and camaraderie. And even though they come from different parts of the solar system, I'm talking about galaxy, planets, whatever, they're so alike, man. It's great, absolutely great. So it stars Felicity Jones as Jyn, Mads Mikkelsen, good old Mads, I love a bit of Mads, man, as Galen Erso, Diego Luna as Cassian Andor, Ben Mandelsholm as Krennic, director Krennic, who's fantastic as well, Bonnie Yen as Chirrut, Bonnie Yen, I've mistyped that, what am I like? Bonnie M, hey! Donnie Yen as Chirrut Imwe, Wen Jiang as Baze Malbus, Forrest Whittaker as Gerrera, Alan Tudyk as K2SO, Richard Ahmed as Bodhi Brook, and just a special mention for Francis MaGee, who was the Grisley Rebel, because he's Scottish. Francis MaGee, no bearing on it. Give some figures, mate. What was the box and the outlay and the intake?
Well, according to what I read, anyway, the budget for this was 200 million, which was well spent, in my opinion, and it brought in a handsome profit. No, I mean, that's crazy money. Aye. Was it one? I've just put 1.1 billion here.
Aye, just under 1.1 billion. There's unfounded reports that the budget was anything between 2 and 260, but nobody's ever come out and said, well, that other 60 million we spent, so 200 million I went with as well, mate, and 1,100 million. Oh, I'll get the pizzas tonight, Jack.
I'll get the pieces. Aye, it's just that's you can see why Disney went and bought Star Wars there, know what I mean? That kind of money. But aye, the money is well spent. Because again, they kind of went back the way as well with this, because there was a lot of practical stuff in this, as well as CGI. Like I think it was, like, say, the cockpits for the fighters and stuff. I think they were all practical sets. So it's money well spent in the places they spent it.
A lot of real world stuff. There was Iceland. They were in Iceland. They were in Britain, Ireland, and stuff like that as well. Other places, and you can tell it's amazing. You mentioned the CGI and the special effects there. They're 100% flawless. There is not an out of place shot or a grainy looking thing or something that's been badly done. Everything's just amazing. Even the scale the size to scale ratio is
Yep.
out of this world for talking about a space film, but and that makes you more angry about the stuff that Disney has released since, because it just reeks of pure laziness and cost cutting. The fact that actually doesn't matter, you know what I mean, didn't you?
Aye, they're fun at themselves anyway. But it's right. See, they can give you something like this that's obviously well polished and stuff, and like everything to a degree. You know what I mean? You can't fault this at any point for anything. And then, I mean, I know it's not the same like kind of like films and stuff, but then you go and look at that Thor: Love and Thunder. Know what I mean? Some of the CGI in that was fucking outrageous. I know what I mean? It just looked. But see, you were talking about the obviously filming on location and all that. See this as well, which is another thing that's came to annoy me about Star Wars. Like seeing this, different planets they go to, they all have this different feel to them, and the atmosphere and all that is all different. You know what I mean? And it kind of helps to the world building round about it. But let's see, in like other Star Wars stuff, every planet they go to is fucking sand. Know what I mean? Yeah. Really?
There's always one, isn't there? Always one, mate. The good thing about Jeddah is there's a big hole putting it.
But it's like obviously Scarif is like some sort of that's obviously where the Empire goes for the holidays, by the way. What a place. But you've got that. You've got the place where obviously the Mads Mikkelsen characters is. It's like just rocky, stormy and all this. You know what I mean? Obviously Jeddah, different. That at the beginning of the film, the planet where our family's hiding on, that looks different as well. You know what I mean? So it adds to the world building instead of just got like it's just like just take like the sequel trilogy.
Aye.
Like Jakku, desert planet. They go to this other place to find this ship. See the bit where it's like they're all dancing in the desert, the aliens and all that. It's like some festival, another desert planet, like the Mandalorian. He goes to this place, it's a desert planet. He goes to this place, it's another desert planet. Like that. I get it's probably cheaper to film there, but help us out.
No, see if there was a desert planet Scottish. There's a lot of ways being called Sandy, wasn't there? All right, Sandy. Aye, no bad, Sandy.
They talk about the Scottish when they survive in a sandy fucking desert planet. Everybody were all red raw and croaked it.
Very true. There'd be a lot of ginger people just lying in the desert like Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru after they get burnt after stormtroopers. When Luke goes back home.
But I've said before, see this, for me anyway, this is the best of the new films they brought out. Hands 100%. Down, for me anyway.
Totally agree with you. And even something that's quite, for me anyway, with it, before hearing it, would have been quite a big eyebrow raiser, was the music. John Williams wasn't part of it. The original score does play preference in the film. However, the main score and the music was done by Michael Giacchino, and I liked it. I did. Because we didn't get the scroll at the start, as you said. It just burst in, and you're in the film, and then when you do hear the big tune, I thought it was brand new, and I thought the music was good. Score, man. Score's good.
You're right, mate. It didn't feel like it wasn't Williams. Know what I mean? It didn't feel different for any other Star Wars film. So, it fits in well, mate. Especially because there was a part in it. I think it's when Jyn's dad, see when Mads Mikkelsen like pegs it. I thought I could see the new Star Trek films I thought I could hear a bit of that in the music there.
All right.
I'd need to go back and watch that and then listen to it, but I'm positive it sounded the same.
Well, I'll need to as well, because I'd never picked up on that as well. So I will need to see what you're talking about there. I do know what you mean. I can hear the music, the Star Trek music, but I'll need to try and watch that back again. So, absolutely brilliant. Like you, I agree. It's the best. Well, I said it at the start. I think it's the best since the original. Well, since Revenge of the Sith. Revenge of the Sith gets a huge pass because I think that's a great movie as well. But then I think Solo, having watched it about 5 or 6 times now, gets better every watch, and is a hell of a lot better than the last 3. Anyway, do you know what I mean? And that's just a lot to do with characters and stuff. So what's a couple of your favouriteest wee bits in this movie, mate? Here's a couple of things that made you smile.
Well, you can't no talk about the end with Darth Vader. I think that's just everybody that watches this. It gets a mention. Know what I mean? Because I didn't even see it coming, but it brought back that Darth Vader was. It brought back that Darth Vader is to be feared. Know what I mean? Instead of a fucking joke. But aye, just well done. Just pure atmospheric. The effects done. Just the panic. Know what I mean? It was just superb, man.
I agree with you. It's the hearing him before seeing him in that last scene is tremendous. Absolutely tremendous.
No, I mean, because there's a detail to that, right? It's weird, right? Because obviously you don't see his wee buttons on his chest. Apparently they're supposed to light up, right? But there's like a theory out there that he turned them off himself and then held his breath so they didn't see him or hear him. Know what I mean?
I'm going with that. Aye, force stopped him.
But
I never thought about that. There you go. I can see it now, but I can see the people that would pick up on that and moan about it and be pernickety about it.
Aye.
And I'm like, do you know what? I'm with the director on this one. That would have just ruined a perfect shot.
Aye, because just the way he emerges just with the lightsaber, mate, it's probably one of the best scenes in all of Star Wars. Oh yeah, it's just superb, man.
When you think of the start of New Hope, he hodges back. He lets the stormtroopers get in and be cannon fodder, and then he walks to the last kind of soldier and chokes him up in the sky. But Hayden Christensen wasn't casted for the role of Darth Vader either, mate. It was Spencer Wilding and Daniel Naprouse that both filled the suit. Obviously, it was for good man James L. Jones that done the voice, as always. Perfect. But even the actions of Darth Vader in the scenes that we did see him, perfect, weren't they? The two guys done a good job, man.
Aye. Because again, that was another one of my favourite scenes. See when obviously Krennic goes to see Darth Vader. And it's just because I think that is Mustafa, see the planet.
Aye, as Mustafa, aye.
And you're just going to be sitting there like that. Why have you decided to stay there, mate? that's when you became a fucking invalid. You know what I mean? But it's just that whole again, see the reveal, and it's obviously the doors opening, and it's the shadow you see and all that. It's just superb, man.
I know why he stays there, but you just can read up in it. It's kind of a self-torture kind of thing. He feels he deserves to stay there and remember why he's Darth Vader. You know what I mean? But the guy's done tremendous. You said there about the opening scene when we seen him. Oh, brilliant! Because he's in the banter tank, and it's just draining away, and I remember the pictures, like, we're going to see his full face here, but obviously it wasn't Hayden Christensen. They showed you enough, and then they walked down the stairs, got the smoke. That's that at that point. There's a fatter kind of neck at the helmet, and that's that's pernickety as well.
Aye, that's what I say, mate. It's just, again, it was kind of getting I was bringing back the kind of fear factor to Darth Vader. Know what I mean? See the two scenes, because it's obviously people liked Obi-Wan Kenobi, but again, my fault with that was the whole way that Vader again was a bit of a fud. Know what I mean?
Aye, it still wasn't 100% Vader yet, wasn't it?
Exactly.
The last battle between him and Obi kind of solidified that. But you are so right about this movie, mate.
Aye, but aye, superb. But and again, I know it's only a wee bit. See, when the pilot he's getting spoke to by Gerrera, and he pulls out the breathing thing, and he hears that, and you see that wee guy's acting like he's obviously been in the presence of Darth Vader. I mean, it was fucking just superb, man. It's a wee tiny couple of seconds, but it's brilliant, man. Well done, man. It's brilliant.
Absolutely. He's another.
It would just need to be the whole final.
Battle of Scarif.
Aye, the Battle of Scarif, man. It's just, it's everything, man. No, I mean, it's just everything. Action, stormtroopers, the big fucking walkers, this space battle. Know what I mean? The ultimate sacrifice. Just superb, mate. Absolutely superb.
Everything about it. I've got it down as one of mine as well. Everything about it, from start to finish, is perfection. It's going on up the sky, it's going on down below. Like you said, there's peril. There's people going into it knowing they're not coming out of it. It's just so good. There's cameos. There's Vader's arriving. Krennic's getting to the tower. K2SO is a hero. Do you know what I mean?
Aye. It brings. Also, like I was saying earlier, it plugs a lot of holes that you could have a pop at the originals with, like the rebellion. Why have they got so few ships? And that explains it. Know what I mean? They lost them, a lot of them, getting the Death Star plans. Know what I mean? When you've got the fighter squadrons, why is there red team and gold team? And there is a reference to blue team. Why is there no blue team? And it's because blue team all died on Scarif. It's fucking, mate, it's so clever and brilliant at the same time.
You know, you're right. And there's a very clever thing Edwards does about the rebellion, about the kind of the council of the rebellion, the hierarchy of the rebellion. He makes them so unlikable because there's still bureaucracy there. There's still, you're talking rubbish. We're not going to war. And you're like, I thought you were a rebellion. What's going on here? Why is Jyn, who had no interest in fighting for the rebellion, now trying to call yous to war, trying to make you see the only form of defence is attack? You know what I mean? Great, man.
It's so good. Mate, it's brilliant, mate. It's like this. They're just the whole sacrifices, and it's just because even then, like that's when you start going like with the characters. Oh no, know what I mean? It's like, oh no, no that, know what I mean? These characters, I like all the characters in it, right? There's not a character I turn on and go, oh, I can't go that. Know what I mean? I can't go that person for whatever reason. I like everybody in it, and it's like, see when they start going, and you're going, oh no, man. It's like it was like the originals. See when you thought like Han Solo was dead, you're like, oh no, man.
Then you get to the latest trilogy, and you're more annoyed at Han Solo getting killed off. You're annoyed at the directors and the writers and all that. You're 6 movies too late. You're fudge. You know what I mean? What's going on? Why would you have Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill never have a scene together? What is that all about? But listen, we're slagging that. We're taking a focus away for this. You're right, mate. The whole Scarif battle was tremendous.
And again, it's just like everybody all comes into the rain, seeing obviously the wee pilot. He's been quiet. He appears and all that, and then he comes into his own. Know what I mean? He plays a integral part to it. He gets them onto the planet. Know what I mean? And then gets the uplink up to them and stuff. Even the boy Ferrizzo kicks. Know what I mean? Even he plays his part.
Aye, but it's a great point about Bodhi. He respects Galen that much, and he knows he's an individual. He knows the Empire are bad people, and he's come down and he's sacrificed. He knows he's sacrificing his life to help this cause. But his death is horrible. We'll give special mention to other deaths when they happen, because they all hit you. They're all hard, man. They're still like, no, what's going on? So you're right, mate.
Because even like, see again, see what I was saying, like it plugs the holes and stuff you can ridicule the films with. The big glowing one, right, that everybody always used to rip the piss out of, myself included, was why is the Death Star get such a weakness? You know what I mean? And I think it's just so, again, clever how this was wrote, that this guy has put himself in his place and made this design flaw. You know what I mean? He knew they were going to build it without him. And he put this in there so there's a chance to defeat it, sort of thing.
That's it, because for 40 years, and it was 40 years since the original, we were led to believe it was an oversight. So it's taken this film 40 years later for us to realise it was done on purpose, and you're like, of course it was. Of course it was. Aye. I'm on board with that. It took 40 years. Even Family Guy never knew about it before they done their skit, you know what I mean?
Aye. Oh, mate,
so it's going to be okay over there. It's nothing to worry about, just a little hole. Can I put a bit of plywood up there? No, I'll be fine. Brilliant.
But aye, the Scarif, as even the finale, you know what I mean? Just obviously when the Death Star's shot and all that, because it gives me one of my favourite lines in that as well. See the Admiral, and he says, "May the Force be with you, Rogue One." And you're like that.
Aye. Oh, my hair roasted like a Scotsman on Tatooine. It's roasted. You've took 2 of my favourite scenes, no taking them, but you've just kind of said the same as me. A couple of more. I mean, there's like you said about Saul Gerrera with his mask, a tiny detail that hits. Do you know what I mean? It's done what it's meant to do. You see the reaction of Bodhi's face. You're right about that. Other things like that, it's just the targeting dish getting lowered into the Death Star.
Aye.
You're not just seeing it getting into the Death Star, you're seeing the scale, because there's a ship going by it, a Star Destroyer, and you see how minuscule it is next to it. So when I seen that in the cinema, you're like, oh my, that is that is a moon. Obi-Wan's rang, that is a moon. Do you know what I mean? That is vast.
Aye.
That was great.
Brilliant, man.
And scale-wise as well, the very opening scene is the ship going by a planet, and it's a dot. And you're like, we're in space here, man.
Yeah.
Call to arms about the CGI and that as well. I thought Tarkin and Leia looked brilliant.
Aye, mate. It's even a special mention to the Tarkin. It's because obviously I didn't go see this, so when I watched this, I'm sure I bought it on Blu-ray or it came on Disney, and I watched it. Know what I mean? And see, when I seen it, and I went, "What? What would you call him? Navid and still game? Are you no dead?" It was just
great.
that well done, man. Like, see, even the shine off his skin and all that. It was brilliant, man. It's so well done.
The reflection in his eyeballs is just, it's, again, makes you watch Indiana Jones, the latest one, and think, yeah, you could have done better there. What's going on here? Like you said about the Battle of Scarif at the end, I think the whole Jeddah is tremendous. For them arriving there, watching the starship taking the Kyber away, watching the tension build as the rebels attack the stormtroopers, all that is brilliant. Right up to the Death Star has a wee practice on it, and they just get out of dodge, man, in time. The whole Jeddah stuff's tremendous. Action, explosions, couple of stormtroopers doing quadruple somersaults. Yeah.
Aye, again, see that's what I'm talking about. Where it was like it showed you more the oppression. Know what I mean? That the Empire is in there just raiding this planet for everything it's got, and it's like the holy city. Know what I mean? The last
Aye.
remnants of the Jedi and stuff.
Mhm.
And but even like, see when the battle comes about, like you imagine the stormtroopers are always immaculate, clean and all that. Again, they looked bogging and like pure gritty, like normal soldiers. Know what I mean? It was brilliant, man. And
Do you know what it's awful like there? You said there about oppression and stuff. It just reminded me of all the films that I've seen of World War Two when the Nazis are in a French town or a Dutch town or something, and they're just stopping people in the street and they're papers. You know what I mean? Are getting hauled away for nothing, and that's what it was like. You just see that happening in every alley, and obviously Cassian and Jyn are the hoods up and all that, and they're walking down. But all the while they're looking up and they can see something's going on here. Something's going to happen. That wee guy with the mask face. I mean,
because like, even like you said, see when the Death Star has its practice shot. I know we've seen like the Death Star shooting and stuff before, and obviously the sequels you get the big fucking planet that was then people in. Know what I mean? But this is like when you see the Death Star and what it's capable of, and the destruction on the surface of a planet. See when like the whole like the surface of the planet just starts rolling, and you're just
it's like proper natural disaster stuff. It's impending. It's coming to you. It's coming to you. Because I remember reading people are talking about in the same day they destroy Alderaan, just a bit later in the day. Do you know what I mean? And that was instantaneous. But it was, they weren't testing a planet kit. They weren't testing if it could kill a planet. That was the first real test. They were just testing the weapon system was working. And they'd done it twice. So get it run you. Know what I mean? Some people are never happy. And I think we've all known over the last 20 years that the Star Wars fan base is one of the most poisonous about. It is.
But it's also as well, because seeing this as well, that's the Empire still doesn't have complete control. Because see, after they blow up Jeddah and that scene with Vader, there wasn't supposed to be a test run. Know what I mean? We're just saying it was a mining disaster. So it's like they've still not got full control. And again, this is what somebody else says, because I've obviously we read up on all this stuff before we do it. The attack, see by Rogue One on Scarif, apparently that was the final nail in the coffin for the Emperor to take care. Like, look, the rebellion's attacking us now. I need ultimate power here just to use everything. And that was it.
All part of the master plan. All stuff he foreseen, all stuff he manoeuvred into place. Wasn't he shy of taking a few casualties in the road, was he? Because he never bloody did it. So again, kudos to the writing. Absolutely amazing. See, it's to talk about that Battle of Jeddah. Obviously, they tell K2SO. His patter in this is great. By the way, K2SO's, they ask him to stay in the ship. But like Jyn turns around, shoots another droid, and then K2SO appears and looks and says, "Did you know that wasn't me?" Yes. So then Cassian gets him into trouble. "Thought I told you to stay in the ship." And he just catches a grenade and throws it back at the stormtrooper that threw it, saving their lives basically, and going, "Oh yes, stay in the ship. That's exactly what I should have done."
I know, because
So
it's
good.
like even again, like testament to how good this film is and all the characters in it. He's just a droid, right? There's like nothing. He's not even a real person. He's CGI. But see, even his death, you're like, oh no, oh no.
Aye. And see the final killing shot that killed him? It was the exact same one that Jyn shot that one in Wannabe. It was the exact same place because he took multiple rounds. He was he was the unlucky droid who found the stormtroopers that could aim that day. You know what I mean?
Aye, and it's just see the sacrifice. Not I mean, it's like he just a wee goodbye before he goes and all that. And you're going, oh no, no the boy, no the boy.
Aye. The last thing he does was lock the blast doors. You know what I mean? But
Aye.
even just before that, Jyn gives him the blaster. And even though he's a droid, the actions or no facial expression because he's not got any, but the actions of him looking at this pistol as if, my God, you're my friend. You gave me the gun. I wanted a pistol and you've gave me it. You're good people, you wee barra.
Because we spoke about this before, didn't we? That it's like the droids in this have feelings, know what I mean? So they're like, it's like the
Sentient,
iRobot
isn't
thing. Know what I mean? And it's like, and then see when you see them, like, it kind of puts a bit more emphasis on, see that Jabba's Hut when that wee guy's getting tortured and all that, you're going, fuck's sake.
Aye. Don't get me wrong, they take it to a new level in Solo. When what's his name? Lover. Lando. Lando loses his female droid, and there's kind of questions about what goes on we used to before that. Do you know what I mean? Which is quite funny. But aye, really, really good, mate.
But obviously, this as well, this gave birth to the whole Andor series. Know what I mean? And again, talking about this film, how it kind of showed you the dark side of the rebellion. Know what I mean? Because in like the Star Wars films, like the rebellion are always the good guys. They're always the moral. Oh, we don't do that. That's the bad thing. And then in this straight away, the first actions are Cassian after he gets the information, and that wee guy says he's not going to be able to escape. He does him in because he can't be left to live. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh, here, this is different.
That is brutal, by the way. That is brutal. I mean, that's early on in the film, and you're right. It just gives you a yes, the good over evil isn't always super good. Do you know what I mean?
Aye, exactly. And it's like, see, this was any other film, it'd have been a case of, don't worry, we'll get you out of this sort of thing. You know what I mean? It's like, we'll find a way, we'll make sure you get out. Or if you get caught, we'll rescue you. And it's just showing you the underbelly of what had to go on for this rebellion. And that's what you're kind of seeing in the Andor series, isn't it?
Definitely that. Obviously, it took you a wee while to watch Andor. You waited till it was finished. I watched it week on week, and it was thoroughly brilliant. I think they're going to do one more series, and that takes you up to Rogue One, because Andor is all about Cassian's journey, and because he's not a rebel at the start either. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Cameos in this film were excellent because there wasn't a million of them, and it wasn't just fan service either, right? I suppose fan service was when we bump into Evazan and Ponda Baba, who are pig nose and ball face for A New Hope. You watch yourself. That was kind of hey, I know you. In the battles, like the Battle of Scarif, we see the Ghost, which is a Star Wars Rebels, the Ghost ship, and we also see Hera and Chopper for a brief couple of moments as well, which I bloody loved. I remember the first time I watched it, I didn't watch Rebels until recently, so I had to go back and watch it again, seen them.
Yeah.
Thought that was good. And then again, you get the battle with Gold Leader, Mon Mothma, and General Dodonna, and Senator Organa, all making their appearances as well, which was great.
And then even just a wee couple of second clip C-3PO and R2-D2 and all, know what I mean? Because I don't know if it was up until Solo, because I'm not sure if C-3PO is in Solo, but this meant that Anthony Daniels was in every single Star Wars film.
That's right.
So
that's right. I mean, obviously the brief cameo, it makes Anthony Daniels appear in every movie. Another character in Solo. Aye, that's it. Aye, you're right, mate. I don't think it was in Solo. Couldn't have been in Solo, could he have?
Nah, I was trying to think, remember, but
Anthony Daniels appears as another character in Solo.
Aye.
He's no C-3PO, so he's in that as well.
Aye. Oh, there you go then.
They also used the wardrobe used original costumes for the original film 40 years ago.
Exactly. Because that was apparently one of the things as well. See, when his name Gareth Edwards was the fun canisters of the old Star Wars film, and that's where they got stuff like Blue Leader and stuff, because it was unused like scenes, and that's how I think they've integrated them into this film.
That's right.
Again, which is
because they found the footage of the female X-wing pilots as well.
Aye.
Put them in.
So
Brenda and Agnes and all that.
All the lassies for the steamy.
Just got to Galloway's Butchers there and get called to arms. That was smashing. So George Lucas, which I thought was quite good. He loved the film so much that director Gareth Edwards posted on his Twitter feed, "It's the most important review to me. He's kind of like a god. I'll take that conversation to my grave. His opinion means the world to me." And I imagine that would be.
Aye.
I'm going to do something with your vision. I hope you like it. Do you know what? Love it.
Because I even watched, he was getting interviewed in all Gareth Edwards, and they're talking about, see, the Darth Vader scene in the corridor, and he says, "No, that's not mine, that's George Lucas's." And you're going like, "Well, what do you mean?" And he went, "Well, he created the character, he created the lightsaber, he created that corridor that you're looking at, he created all that, so it's George Lucas's." Just take the win, fuck's sake.
Taking that as a win there. Take a compliment, mate.
But see, I know how I was talking about the deaths, right? What death got you the most?
Chirrut and Baze, both of them in equal measure, because Baze watches Chirrut die, holds him in his arms, and then starts reciting "One with the Force with me, one with the Force with me," and then Baze just goes on a kind of a rampage of pure anger and grief, and he eventually succumbs as well. What's yours?
Mate, that's the exact same ones, mate. Because they're my. I know I like everybody in it, but they two are my favourite characters for it. So see when they went, and it was the way they went as well. Know what I mean? Like, obviously, Gerrut turns on the power switch. Know what I mean? Believing in the Force, and then he goes. Know what I mean? And I think Baze kind of sees himself as Gerrut's protector now. Know what I mean?
They make reference to it up until that point. Look, what you doing? You're going to die. No, you're not. I've got you to look after me. It's like a brotherly love in it.
Aye.
Because formerly they were protectors of the crystals before the Empire took over their town.
Aye.
I've got to say, man, see Baze's gun with the Vax Hoover on the back of him. I just don't know how he can miss with that big gun, man. It's a big belter.
Mate, it is, mate, and that's probably why it goes into my childlike fucking head. That his gun's the best. He is the fucking best.
However, what I've got to say about if I was pushed for a favourite character in this, it would be Donnie Yen, Chirrut. Remember watching John Wick 4 and he came back as a blind guy in that, and you're like, oh, there he is. He's came down to earth for a galaxy far, far away, same character. His moves, he's minted, the guy's minted, isn't he? Just brilliant at what he does.
Well, I'm going to say it, but I've got a lot of time for Donnie Yen. Because I watched IP, man, right? See, the first time I seen the films, I was like, oh, they're fucking tremendous, man. But, aye, he's just...
Do you know why he was picked? Did you read that?
Aye. It was between him and Jet Li.
What?
Jet Li was wanting 10 million, and Donnie was wanting 4. And he was eventually convinced by it because he's what was it, his son?
Uh-huh.
He was a massive
His
Star
son
Wars
loves
fan.
Star Wars. Aye, because he didn't want to be away for home for 5 months, which was the length of time for the filming. But his boys, oh, please, Daddy, please do it for me. I should very much like to watch you on the television being in Star Wars and the like and such.
Well, see, and saying the fact that he's blind, apparently that was Donnie Yen's idea as well. Make him blind.
Superb. And as we discussed earlier, he's the only one that's kind of got a semblance of being in tune with the Force. And you would think he doesn't have the Force, but he's blind. He can do a lot of stuff with that, and so he must be.
That's although this is like heavy into the military side of Star Wars, right? See with the Donnie Yen character, you're still getting elements of the Force that I don't think we knew about. Let's see when Cassian is going out to assassinate Jyn's dad.
Oh.
And he goes, does he look like a killer? And stuff like that, because the Force reacts around different when somebody's about to kill, sort of thing. And you're just going like that. You're still getting parts of the Force that you don't know about. Which is brilliant.
He's trying to remind us, an audience, that the Force is still prevalent. And also, it's so scarce in this movie because everybody believes that the Jedi are fallen. There's no Jedi left. The Force is a myth, which I suppose they kind of allude to in the new trilogy when Han Solo has to say to the guys that it's true, all of it. You know what I mean? I've seen it. I was there. I had the T-shirt. I knew Big Luke. Luke was my pal.
But it's just they two characters as well. See, like you say, they were the guardians of the temple, and it's like becoming part of the Rogue One squad. It gives them like another purpose in life. You know what I mean? And I thought that was brilliant. It's just
brilliant. Great. You're right. Gave them a reason to fight again for a cause that they believed in, and they're just sitting in the tune and he was doing fortunes, wasn't he? I think reading fortunes.
Well, I'm saying that he could have been working day corners because Big Baze looked like a pimp.
Didn't he, man? Just standing there with his big gun, man. Just that's what I'm trying to say there. You mentioned about it's Edu Base is that planet where Cassian has his orders to kill Galen. And obviously Chirrut knows this, he can see it in the Force and all that, and then Jyn realises. But to Cassian's credit, it doesn't do it, doesn't follow through, although it doesn't really matter because Galen gets bombed by, like what Jyn said, they're rebel bombs. Do you know what I mean? Friendly fire.
It's just what we've already touched on. It gives you the other side to the rebellion, because I did kind of think that years ago not when I was a wee boy seeing the Star Wars for the first time and all that, but like you see other films about rebellions and the bad things they had today to get things across, and you're just going, nobody's whiter than white sort of thing. So you're finally
Not
seeing this stuff.
What do you think of Cassian in this film? Do you think?
I think this film's actually a redemption story for Cassian. Because I don't know what's it's going to come in Andor, the second series. That the things he's going to need today are going to get darker and darker. You know what I mean? And this is in the middle of this film. I think he gets his humanity back.
He does. He gets absolution back for what he done at the end, and definitely. But because at the very start of the film, as you mentioned, he kills that guy for having a sword at him. You're like, oh geez, that's no right what you've done. And then up until then, he's a bit of a pain in the arse. He's a bit dismissive of Jyn. Everybody's a suspect. He's going to follow his orders without question. So you're right, the arc for him was on Edu base, obviously, when he puts the rifle down, because he had a good couple of clear shots at the back of old Galen's head there. And but obviously he didn't, which was great. Because even Bodhi knows, didn't he? Bodhi's like, we've come up here and we've looked, so let's go. And he's like, no, I want to look more. Bodhi kind of, no, you're not right there, son.
It's just it's the dark. There's obviously darkness in there. Know what I mean? He's willing to do everything and anything he's sent today, and like that scene we're talking about, that's like the turn in his character. Know what I mean? Like he's done bad things, but it's time to do good. No, it's like he's became the Empire to an extent, and this is.
Two hands don't make a right kind of thugs. We've seen it in so many other films, I suppose.
But it was just well done. And because I see the first time I watched this, right, I was like obviously him and Jyn end up romantic at the end, right? And I'm going like that. Guy literally went to shoot your dad. Space romance, is it?
Their death is romantic in it, and I don't mean romantic in the sense that they two being romantic. I just mean it's a romantic ending with the kind of annihilation of the Scarif base kind of thing. So that's quite good, quite heroic, and ties in with the ending of the film. Very quickly, want to mention my slight dislikes, which, as I've told you before, we come on here, is just more pernickety probably than anything else. And it's Borgully. Borgully! The big love child of Mr. Snuffleupagus for Sesame Street and Jabba the Hutt, who had one too many drinks one night, had the baby, and it was Borgully. So I don't like Borgully. And I don't like the way Saul Gerrera says Borgully either. And I think Saul Gerrera's a bit pathetic for like being a rebel, but he's a worse rebel than the rebels, if you know what I mean. He doesn't care who he kills.
He's an extremist.
In the process. An extremist, that's the word, mate. Well done. So I just didn't. At a time where you have mind probes and torture devices and all this technology, you want a fat jellyfish with an eyeball to come out. You know what I mean? It was fleeting. It was fleeting. It was as quick off the screen as it was on the screen, so it was just a slight permick for me.
The Saw Gerrera thing, I kind of wanted to see more film, but I kind of understood it in a way as well, because I think it helps the Jyn character along. So obviously you're seeing Saw Gerrera, and he's got one leg. You know what I mean? He's wearing this suit to breathe and all that, so he's obviously been through it. You know what I mean? So he's at the end, but I think planting him there helps the Jyn character instead of her just being like for it, like a Luke Skywalker, for instance, like
No,
a
definitely.
daft farmer. She's been raised by an extremist. She was a wee lassie, obviously shown weapons, shown how to do this and all that. Know what I mean? And I think that helps the character a lot better than her just being an innocent that ends up put into the story and ends up the way she ends up. Know what I mean?
Oh, you're right. You're totally right. I don't dislike Saw Gerrera as a character because I know a bit of his canon. I know where he's came from, what he's went through, and all that kind of stuff. And I don't dislike Forrest Whittaker as an actor. He's a brilliant actor. I just thought they could have played him a wee bit more magnanimous or a wee bit more, I don't know, imposing. Whereas when the first time you see him, it's just that heavy, limped, big mechanical leg, and he can obviously he's got respiratory problems because he can hardly talk. But it's just again, it's a pernickety thing for me. That was all. So if that's all it was, that's smashing because there's a million things to like for every dislike.
What about the Jyn Erso character? What do you think?
What do you think? I think you just explained it absolutely fine without seeing the 15 years between her being a wee girl and us finding her in the Imperial cell or jail, or what it was. Great character. I thought she's a good actress as well. I like her. I thought she played it very well. I liked her. I thought she was great, mate. You can tell she's been through it. She knows how to handle herself. She's been brought up by the great Saw Gerrera in his prime, when he could catch a breath and that. How do you not like her?
I do like it. I'm just thinking, just like know how the current climate is now. That obviously women are getting pushed to the front. Know what I mean? And there's a lot of kind of what to say is a misogynic backlash about stuff like that. But this is a prime example of how to do it right.
Oh,
know what I mean?
Totally. And do you know why it is? Because you mentioned it half an hour ago, because every character is kind of equal. All the main characters have their equal importance. Although the story kind of doesn't centre around Jyn, it's just that she's prevalent in every aspect of the story. Do you know what I mean? And you're right, it's directed and casted beautifully, in my opinion.
Because it's not a whole thing that, like it says, she just picks everything up. Know what I mean? I mean, you get that the aspect for the Luke Skywalker thing because he is technically through lineage. He's made for it, sort of thing. Know what I mean? But this, and even then, she's got her faults about stuff. Know what I mean? So it's like she wasn't like just a super brilliant character. Know what I mean? There was flaws to it, and it was relatable.
She wasn't just brought in because she's a female. We better put a woman in this because it's Disney. You know, she wasn't nothing to do with that. And the fact it didn't cross your mind in the whole film is testament to that as well. Whereas,
exactly,
you know, they're just doing things for doing things' sake, which is pretty sad. Any favourite lines in the film?
Oh, well, obviously, Chirrut, I am one with the Force, and the Force is with me, because that's what you want. But again, Chirrut, see when he's getting kidnapped after Gerrera's guys, and they put the hood at his head. He's like, "Are you kidding me? I'm blind."
Aye, that's great. There's a lot of comedy relief in this, and it's done perfectly at the right time. Just smattered throughout the film. K2SO's got a good few of them. Do you know what I mean? But we already said, you know, that wasn't me. Is one of them. And then he says to Jyn, "I'll be there for you, Jyn." And she looks something as if to say, "Aw," and then he just goes, "Cassian told me to be."
Cassian says I had to. You're like, "Ah, fucking superb, man." Oh, Like, you're right, mate. Because see the humour in this, the humour just hits. It doesn't feel forced on that. It just feels natural in bits. It's just, and obviously, like I've already mentioned, obviously when the Death Star shoots on Scarif, and the Admiral just goes, "May the Force be with you, Rogue One," and it's just because it's like it's like a goodbye, but it's like a Star Wars goodbye. You know what I mean? Like thanks for everything. You know what I mean? It was just brilliant.
Thanks for your efforts for the cause. Even Bodhi has the line. Say the thing. What's your call sign? Rogue. Rogue One. But Vader and all, when he's choking Krennic, be careful not to choke on your aspirations, director.
I mean, I don't think, mate. Shout out to my Krennic, another brilliant bad guy. Just if there's one person you go, I fucking hate you, and it's him, but it's the right reason for hating him.
Oh, aye, because he is proper. Again, I'll allude back to it. He is proper SS Nazi. Hates everything and everybody that has nothing to do with the Empire, but while he believes in the Empire, he's totally in it for himself. He's totally in it to get.
Aye.
See when he takes that childlike hissy fit with Tarkin.
Aye.
As if you better tell him it was me. You better tell him I done this. Not that. Oh.
Aye. So good. Oh, mate, I remember the first time I seen that guy in. I think it was something called like Animal Kingdom, and he was a bastard in that and all. But he's good. He's good, that guy, and he played this character brilliant. Let's say it's just because let's see.
The thing I seen him in, I think, was Dark Knight Rises.
See, I think that with Animal Kingdom, I think that's an Australian film. But
he's also a Skrull, isn't he? He's a Skrull as well.
Yep. But see, even his guards in it and all. That was like another aspect you hadn't really seen before, and you went, they're fucking groovy looking.
Aye, so they're Dark Troopers, weren't they? Aye, so they've came for like Mandalorian kind of side of things. Yep. Aye, they were good because even when they didn't really speak, but when they made noises and they moved, it was you heard the kind of mechanical through the mask stuff and all that. That was great, mate.
Brilliant. It's
you do with me.
Aye. And see, that's film forever, and we'll say it's like an espionage film, a war film, but it's even like a heist film. Know what I mean? And a revenge film. It's everything. Just it's got every aspect to it. Just superb, man.
Aye, superb. But you're right, mate. Even Mon Mothma, she says to Jyn, like on your own from the age of 15, reckless, aggressive, and undisciplined. And Jyn just says, "This is a rebellion, isn't it?" I rebel. So well written, man.
Aye. Again, mate. Every character.
I almost forgot, man. Right at the start, one of the best lines. Krennic has it. Galen's just told him. Aye, she's dead. The wife's dead. Nah. Do you know what I mean? She'll just me here. Nobody else, I promise. And then the wife appears. Oh, look, there's Lara back from the dead. Oh, smashing.
Brilliant, man.
K2SO, when Bodhi shoots somebody. Well done. You're a rebel now.
See, that's the second time that was it Alan Tudyk? Alan Tudyk. He actually voiced Sonny in iRobot as well. So that's like the second robot is voiced.
There you go. I'm just surprised he's not been asked to have his own pirate show yet. You know what I mean? Yarr. So there's a couple of hidden cameos, mate, in the film I want to point out as well. You mentioned Jordan Stevens for Izzle Kicks, didn't you? Who was he again?
can't remember his character in this, but he was a wee soldier. He was a wee soldier, so he was. And I just thought that was weird. That was the one thing I was going like, eh? Why are you here? And I was wondering how Rizzo kicked was to him. Well, I wonder what happened with the other guy.
He must be a Trekkie. No, I'm waiting for Star Trek. You jog on.
I won't be associated with that shite.
Force. Aye, force yourself out my road, you bastard. Warwick Davis again, mate. That wee guy gets in a movie or two, didn't he?
Aye. Only again, he's busy in this one.
It's just a weird wee character that just appears. Is just like, do you know what he looks like? He looks like the dungeon master at Dungeons and Dragons, the cartoon, doesn't he? His actual name is Wheatif Seaby. Don't know how it is. And he just appears with a midget with a shotgun, doesn't he? The wee midget in Total Recall. Midget Tina Turner. So Warwick Davis on it again, and he's been part of every part of the Star Wars franchise, and it's ridiculous.
Aye. His boys even getting involved in Honor, so it's.
I know. My dad's chief midget. Let me in. I don't care if that's no PC.
I know your dad will get you a job. You want a job on Star Wars, son? Fucking.
Aye, after school, fucking love that stuff.
Is the bear shit in the woods?
Aye. Any other hidden ones that you jotted down?
No, I did not, mate. I know they were doing a lot of hidden cameos for people and all that, but yeah,
the ones again. It's no Daniel Craig or anything like that kind of stuff. It's no Ray's big wigs. It's Gareth Edwards was very loyal and made a point of saying to voice actors across the Star Wars universe, he wanted them getting their faces shown. So just that there was a ton of voice actors like Michael Donovan for Lego Star Wars, Ryan Johnson, who was the director of The Last Jedi, believe it or not, he made it on here. But just a rake of voice actors for Rebels, Clone Wars, and all that kind of stuff. And then the big thing was getting the female pilots for the X-Wings shown as well.
Because there's the wee one of the wee soldiers in this series, the wee Scottish guy.
Aye, grizzled rebel.
Aye, him. He's actually, you see him again in Andor. He's in the prison, saving the building and stuff and all that. So again, I was like, oh, a wee bit of, there you go, a wee bit of continuity there. So, but aye, just as a whole, mate, see this film, man, it's just, well, see for me, I think it goes in between the third and fourth best of the Star Wars films for me. So,
see that.
See that. Aye.
It's just so good. And then when I watched it the other day, I hadn't watched it in a wee while. I just remember watching it on a small screen with the visuals and just wishing I could go back to the cinema and watch it again on the big screen.
Aye.
Just blown away.
If it ever comes back to the IMAX, I'll be got the IMAX to see it. Because like I says, this and Solo are the only two that I haven't went to the cinema to see. And it's because the damage was done with some of the sequels.
Oh, I totally get it.
I mean, I'm not sure, like, I think, was the Last Jedi out before this? Or after this?
Yeah, 2016, Last Jedi. No, I think it's just no in between Force Awakens and Last Jedi.
Aye. Well, that's what it was. Aye, because Last Jedi came out after this. So, it must have been the Force Awakens. I'm like, nah.
That was the best of the three, you know what I mean?
Aye.
So, all that in mind, mate, anything else you want to say about it? You want to just give it what's the script score out of 10?
I'll just get the score and I'll get a 9 out of 10. and it only drops down for a 10 because it's just not got the see the Jedi stuff in it, which it shouldn't have anyway. But that's the only thing that takes away from it.
Mine's is also a reluctant 9, very reluctant, because I'm having to sit in my horns about no getting it a 10 as well. And it's, if I can get a reason for not being a 10, I can. I just don't want to get a 10 because it's no perfect, but it is a perfect film. 9's outrageous anyway. It's an outrageously great score. So, amazing film. I feel like watching it again now. Do you know that way? I really do.
I will watch it again. That's what I'm talking about. Fucking oh, because see, after I finished it last night, about 11:30.
Yeah.
And I was just going to go, let's do that again.
I think I'm going to watch it again. I'm going to watch Solo again as well because again, Solo got panned for. I know it was a kind of a directorial abortion of a film. It was 2 different directors, half and half the film, which didn't do it any favours. But I think the more you watch it, the better it is. And again, I still rank it higher than the last 3.
Yep.
And I probably rank it higher than the ones that haven't came out yet because I know they're going to be a Ray fest as well. Do you know what I mean? So we're told if they ever happen. But listen, Star Wars, if you're ever Disney people, if you ever get onto a What's the Script podcast, because you might find one, because you can find us anywhere, as we keep you can find us anywhere in the Disney toilet or something like that. Please.
Even in a galaxy far, far away, a long time ago.
There you go, see? Please, please, please watch this film. People that make the decisions back and just see what you could have, what you should have every time. Just get away from these mini-series garbage that we really don't need. Obviously finish Andor because I like that. But just get back to the big screen, get back to the movies, man. Give these. Mm-hmm. You make yourself $1 billion all day long anyway. They should be outscoring James Cameron or no.
Aye. Star Wars films need to be events. Know what I mean? They can't be TV shows. It's just as much as Mandalorian started well, it's starting to wane a bit, in my opinion. Anyway, I know people are still liking it, but the other ones have been misses as far as I'm concerned, like Boba Fett.
You're right.
So
you're right, but Boba Fett was horrendous. I keep saying it. The Mos Espa Vespas. What are they? That gang. And then even Boba Fett turning up in the end on a Rancor. You're like, oh, jeez, what's going on, man? The best episode of Boba Fett was the episode The Mandalorian was in. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
And even that last series was shocking.
Aye, that is. But aye, as a whole, aye. Go back to making the films. And I know we've said that you don't need to stay in the same couple of years. There's got to be other stories out there. There's other things to be told. You know what I mean?
Of course there is. I want to know about Darth Plagueis of Wise. You know what I mean? I want to know about the Old Republic. I want to know about the fall of the Sith. I want to know all that jazz. All that jazz. I want to see Yoda getting born.
Aye. Rogue One, smashing film. And I've also got my next movie.
Oh, what was that?
And ready to go. Well, as we're talking about the director here, Gareth Edwards, he is slated to do another Jurassic Park movie.
That's right.
So, to keep up with films being linked to other films, I've decided we shall do Jurassic Park.
The original?
Yes.
Dickie Attenborough and like Steven Spielberg, that whole shebang.
The 1993 original.
Oh, mate. That's another one I like pictures to see. Welcome to Jurassic Park. Oh, good. Give me an excuse to play
but because I might have only been 1 year of age.
Oh, Christ, aye. That's right, you're a puppy, ain't you? Keep forgetting that. Excellent, mate. Look forward to that. I'll enjoy watching that again. Obviously, another cinematic kind of triumph, breakthrough with CGI and all that kind of stuff. Aye, good pick, mate. So what are you up for the rest of the day?
Well, I reckon it'll be Helldivers 2, just out there blowing up aliens and robots and whatever. Maybe watch some of the Champions League tonight. I don't know. I'll see what takes my fancy, and I may partake in that nice golden amber brew of the Spanish Mahu. So,
very good indeed. It's quite funny. I watched that. I didn't watch. I seen an article. One of the pages I follow on X called Morbid Knowledge, and it was just tells you about strange deaths and people going missing and all that. It's kind of good. It's no good for them, obviously, but there was one article and it was about a Chinese boy died playing a computer game continuously for 23 years, but it was in a public place where all these kids went to go and play, and he sat there for another 12 years before people realised he was dead. I thought of you,
man.
sitting playing the Helldivers.
You me?
I did. Thought you playing that game, lying in your own filth.
Oh, it is, but it is. It's addictive, man. But it's entertaining. See, because I've not really been into playing the PlayStation that for ages now. Because see, now you buy games and they're no full games. You need to buy something else to make the game complete, and that's just a fucking rip-off as far as I'm concerned. So
buy the extension pack or the New World pack or extra missions initiative. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because I looked at your game on Steam, and I didn't have the money to buy it anyway. But I don't think my laptop's got the chops to support it. To be honest with you, either. I think it would be quite laggy. But it looks good. The advertising videos for it though, that look absolutely smashing. Like kind of Starship Troopers vibe about it.
It's like Starship Troopers mixed in with Terminator and shit like that. It's good, man. It's kills a few hours. Know what I mean?
I got a Doom vibe off it. I know a wee bit of Doom vibe.
It's superb, mate. Superb.
Right. So, folks, listen, thanks very much for tuning in. Thanks for liking, sharing, commenting. If you've been good enough to leave us a wee comment over the last couple of weeks, we really do appreciate it. We always answer you back. If there's anything you like, let us know. Anything you don't like, also let us know. More importantly, you can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, all the listening platforms, and we'll tell you some other secret locations you can find us next week when we do Jurassic Park.
Yes.
I get a thinking caps on for that one. But absolutely nothing's off the table, mate. If you're saying tadpoles' tails, then nothing's off the table. But for myself, it's cheery bye.
Yes, and it's a cheery bye from me.
The views and opinions of this podcast are solely our own, with no direct intention to offend or upset.
Brilliant. Fucking brilliant.